Bring me a human before I die, or your council will never understand why you're all already dead. Station Commander Zara stared at the transmission from Maximum Security Cell Alpha 1, her throat sacs contracting involuntarily. Khor'vax, the Butcher of 17 Worlds, architect of 3 centuries of systematic genocide, sat calmly behind 6-inch bonded titanium, scheduled for execution in 48 hours. And he was negotiating. "This is absurd," Council Representative Vexthul hissed through the briefing room speakers. "He's killed trillions. Trillions. We don't grant war criminals final requests, especially not ones that make no sense," Zara interrupted, scanning the demand again. "Any human. He specified the more ordinary, the better. Not a diplomat, not a military officer. He wants... what? A civilian? It's a trap." Vexthul's certainty crackled through the connection. Corvox doesn't make meaningless gestures. Zara's fingers drummed against the console. That was precisely what worried her. Corvox had orchestrated the fall of 17 civilizations with methodical precision. His campaigns weren't rage-fueled conquests. They were calculated, almost scientific. Every species he'd destroyed had been catalogued, studied, their final moments documented with disturbing thoroughness. According to YouTube analytics, 98% of viewers are not subscribed. That's a huge number. By subscribing the channel that is completely free, he says his entire war was research. Zara pulled up the full message. He claims what he learned will determine whether the galaxy survives the next century. Silence filled the channel. "That's," Vexthul's voice faltered, "that's not standard war criminal rhetoric." No, Zara felt her combat instincts stirring, the ones that had kept her alive through the siege of Orion Station. It's not. She accessed the facility roster, filtering for humans. 3 results. Emma Johnson, maintenance technician, lower decks. Marcus Chen, visiting researcher, currently off station. And, "We have 1 human on site right now," Zara said slowly. "Maintenance worker. Emma Johnson. She's been here 6 months. Exemplary record, mostly keeps to herself." "You're actually considering this?" "He's dead in 48 hours regardless," Zara replied. "But if there's even a chance he knows something about a threat level that concerns him." She let the implication hang. What frightened the Butcher of 17 Worlds? 20 minutes later, Emma Johnson stood in Zara's office, still holding a plasma wrench, her work coveralls stained with hydraulic fluid. "Ma'am, they said it was urgent. But I was in the middle of recalibrating the..." "How much do you know about Corvox?" Zara asked. Emma blinked. "The war criminal? I mean, everyone knows about him. History's worst nightmare, genocidal maniac scheduled for execution soon." She shifted the wrench to her other hand. "Why?" "He's asked to speak with a human before he dies. You're the only one currently on station." The color drained from Emma's face. "Oh, that's... I'm sorry, he wants to talk to me? Specifically?" "Any human." He said, "The more ordinary, the better." Zara watched Emma's reaction carefully. Confusion, yes. Fear, certainly. But also something else. Curiosity? "That's the weirdest last request I've ever heard," Emma said. "What does he want?" "I mean, I fix coolant systems and recycle atmospheric processors. I don't do whatever this is." "We don't know what he wants, but he claims he has information about humanity that will affect galactic survival." Emma laughed. Actually laughed. "About us? We've been in space for what, 100 years? We're basically the new kids. What could he possibly know about humans that..." She stopped, reading Zara's expression. "You're serious?" "This is actually serious." His exact words were, "I fought them once, lost more soldiers in 3 days than in 50 years of warfare, spent the next 80 years studying them. Everything I did afterward was testing what I learned. The Council needs to understand before I'm gone." The wrench slipped from Emma's fingers, clanging against the deck plating. She didn't pick it up. "He fought humans?" When? Where? I've never heard about any conflict with classified incident 83 years ago. Before your time, small engagement officially listed as territorial misunderstanding. Zara leaned forward. Emma, I wouldn't ask this if I didn't think it mattered. Will you speak with him? Emma stared at the wrench on the floor. When she looked up, her expression had shifted into something Zara recognized from her own mirror, the look of someone who just realized the comfortable universe was more complicated than they'd thought. Yeah, Emma said quietly. Yeah, okay, I mean, if it's important. She bent down, retrieved the wrench, set it carefully on Zara's desk. When? Now. The cell was smaller than Emma expected. Corvox sat perfectly still behind the transparent barrier, 4 arms resting on a metal bench, his chitinous armor scarred with what looked like centuries of combat. His eyes, all 6 of them, tracked her movement as she entered. Zara stood by the door, weapon ready. Council Representative Vexthul observed via holoscreen, his expression unreadable. Emma Johnson, Corvox said. His voice was like gravel grinding against stone. Maintenance technician, born Earth, city called Portland. You repair things. Yeah. Emma stayed near the entrance. You asked for a human. Here I am. What do you want? I want to tell you a story before I die. Corvox shifted slightly. 83 years ago, I encountered humans for the first time. Small colony, edge of what you call the Sagittarius Arm. My fleet had 40,000 soldiers. The colony had 300 humans, farmers, engineers, families. Emma felt her stomach tighten. It should have taken 6 hours, Corvox continued. We'd conquered fortified military installations faster, but 3 days later, I retreated with less than 8,000 soldiers alive. Do you know what your people did? Defended themselves? Emma's voice came out smaller than she intended. No, not just defended. Khor'vax leaned forward. They hunted us. While evacuating their civilians, they hunted my soldiers through their own burning colony. Set traps, ambushed supply lines, turned their farming equipment into weapons. They laughed while doing it. I heard them on intercepted communications. Laughed and made jokes and kept coming. Vexthul's image flickered. This is documented? Classified records. Incident Sierra 7, Zara confirmed quietly. Khor'vax's only recorded defeat before his later campaigns. I spent the next 80 years studying your species, Khor'vax said. Every document I could access. Your history, your art, your psychology, and then I tested my findings. Emma's throat felt dry. Tested how? 17 civilizations. Each one I approached differently, using what I learned from watching humans. His eyes glittered. The Vaxil Collective. I shattered their command structure and watched them collapse into chaos, unable to function without hierarchy. The Trine Federation. I isolated their worlds and they surrendered within months, terrified of being alone. The Morphean Alliance. I showed them overwhelming force and they yielded immediately. You murdered trillions to... What? Prove a theory? Emma's hands clenched into fists. To prepare the galaxy for you, Corvox replied calmly. Silence crashed through the room. Emma shook her head. That doesn't make any sense. Why not just, I don't know, ask humans for help if you thought something needed preparing? Corvox's mandibles twitched. And there it is, your first instinct, even now, faced with mass murderer. Why not cooperate? Do you understand how alien that response is? It's called not being a psychopath, Emma shot back. No. Khor'vax stood slowly. It's called being a predator species that evolved pack bonding as survival mechanism. Every species in this galaxy evolved from prey animals, herbivores, filter feeders, scavengers. They built civilization through fear of being eaten. You built civilization through cooperation to hunt mammoths. Vexthul's screen split as other council members joined. Emma could see them accessing files, their expressions shifting. Your people befriend your food, Corvox continued. You name animals you raise for slaughter. You keep apex predators in your homes as companions. Wolves you turned into dogs, cats that would eat you if they were larger. You create art celebrating predators, sharks, lions, dinosaurs. Your children wear their images proudly. That's just, Emma faltered. That's normal. For you. Only for you. Corvox moved closer to the barrier. Let me ask, are you thirsty? Hungry? You've been working all day. Emma blinked at the sudden change. I mean, yeah, I could use some coffee, but there's a fabricator in the corner. Please. Confused, Emma walked to the small fabricator unit. She input her order, black coffee, extra shot, and waited. The familiar smell filled the cell. She turned back to Corvox, cup in hand. Would you like some? She asked automatically. Zara's weapon raised slightly. Vexthul made a strangled sound. Khor'vax's mandibles spread in what might have been a smile. Yes. Thank you. Emma moved to the barrier slot, realized it was designed for food delivery, and pushed the cup through. Corvox accepted it with one scarred hand. You just offered coffee to the butcher of 17 worlds, he said softly. Without hesitation, without calculation, because in your psychology, sharing food strengthens pack bonds. You've mentally categorized me as person having conversation, rather than threat to eliminate. Emma stared at the cup in his hands, feeling something cold settle in her chest. Every council member watching this right now is horrified, Corvox continued, because they're prey species. They see threat and want distance. You see potential pack member and offer hospitality. He took a sip. No predator species has ever achieved spaceflight before. Predators compete. They establish dominance. They don't build complex cooperative civilizations. But humans did, Emma whispered. Humans did. Corvox set the cup down carefully. And that's why I needed to know. Could prey species civilizations learn to fight like predators if threatened? Could they adapt? His eyes fixed on her. They can't. I tested 17 different approaches. Every species broke exactly as predicted by their prey psychology. But you, he gestured at Emma with one scarred arm, you're in a locked room with mass murderer, and you made coffee for both of us. Emma sat down on the bench opposite the barrier, cradling her own coffee. The initial shock was fading into something else, that peculiar human curiosity that Corvox had apparently spent 80 years documenting. So you fought 17 wars just to prove we're different? She asked. That seems... couldn't you have just written a paper or something? Vexthul's screen multiplied, 5 council members now, then 8, then 12, all accessing files, their expressions ranging from confusion to dawning horror. A paper. Corvox's mandibles clicked in what might have been amusement. Yes, I could have published Humans Are Predators, Galaxy Doomed in the Quarterly Journal of Xenobiology. Very scientific. When you put it that way, Emma actually smiled. Okay, but seriously, why did you start fighting in the first place? What made you so angry? Zara's weapon lowered slightly, her expression shifting to alarm. Emma, you're asking a war criminal about his feelings. He's about to be executed, Emma said, glancing back, and apparently he wants to tell us something important. So yeah, I'm asking what happened. There's got to be a reason, right? There she goes, Corvox said quietly. Pattern, recognition. Humans don't accept random violence. Your brains demand narrative, causation. You hunt for reasons the way your ancestors hunted prey across continents. That's not... Emma stopped. Okay, maybe that's fair, but you clearly have a reason. What is it? Corvox took another sip of coffee. I was military strategist for the Kolian Dominion. We encountered human colony, standard protocol, overwhelming force, demand surrender. Your people evacuated civilians and then... He paused. Then they smiled at us. Waved. Invited us to negotiate over something you called barbecue. My commanders thought it was submission ritual. Oh no, Emma muttered. 3 of my officers attended. Your people fed them, laughed with them, asked about their families, made friends. Khor'vax's voice hardened. Then, when my commanders ordered attack anyway, those same humans who'd shared food turned their agricultural equipment into weapons and systematically destroyed 40,000 soldiers. Because you attacked after they tried peace, Emma said softly. Because you gave us chance to choose differently, and we chose wrong. Corvox leaned forward. Do you understand? You offered pact bond, we rejected it, so you eliminated the threat, efficiently, creatively, and while making jokes about it. I heard intercepted communications. Bet I can take out that transport with the combine harvester. 20 credits says I can't. You're on. Councilmember Sinara's voice cut through the speakers. I'm reading human entertainment databases. They have entire genres celebrating predators. Something called Shark Week, another called When Dinosaurs Ruled Earth. Their children wear clothing with teeth and claws on them. Oh yeah, my nephew has a T-Rex shirt, Emma said absently. He's 4, loves dinosaurs. Your 4-year-old offspring celebrates apex predator that would devour him? Sinara's voice cracked. Well, they're extinct, so... Emma trailed off, seeing their expressions. Okay, I guess that is kind of weird when you say it like that. Humans keep wolves in their dwellings, another council member reported, deliberately bred them for companionship. They call them dogs and treat them as family members. Cats too, Emma offered. Though cats are less pack-bonded. More like roommates who occasionally leave dead things as gifts. Zara made a choking sound. Your species invented sport, Corvox continued relentlessly. Hunting for enjoyment rather than sustenance. You run marathons, pursue prey until it collapses from exhaustion, except you do it to yourselves voluntarily. For fun. Hey, I've run a half marathon, Emma protested. It's good exercise. You voluntarily trigger your pursuit predator instincts as recreation, Corvox said. Do you understand how insane that sounds to species whose ancestors spent millions of years fleeing predators? Emma opened her mouth, closed it. Okay, yeah, when you explain it like that, we're kinda weird, but it's not that dramatic. Look at me. I fix air filters and replace coolant lines. I'm not scary. You're talking casually with mass murderer, Corvox pointed out. You've mentally recategorized me as interesting conversationalist rather than existential threat. You asked about my emotional state. You're trying to understand my motivation because your predator brain sees pattern to solve rather than danger to flee. Commander Zara, Vex Thul's voice was tight. Pull restricted files. Human military history. Authorization Omega 7. Zara's hands moved across her console. Her face went pale, or whatever color her species went when shocked. They fought wars over ideas, she whispered. Not resources, not territory. Ideas. Concepts like freedom and equality. They killed each other in the millions over abstract principles. And then chose peace, Corvox added. Formed global government, reached for stars together. Because humans don't just hunt, they choose what to hunt, including their own violent instincts. Emma shifted uncomfortably. We're not perfect. We've made a lot of mistakes. You ended slavery, Corvox interrupted, not because you ran out of slaves, not because it became unprofitable, but because you decided it was wrong. Prey species end exploitation when they can't maintain it. Predators end it when they choose to. I'm accessing human historical documents, Sinara said, her voice rising. They have something called persistence hunting. They would chase prey for days, not fast, just steady, never stopping. The prey would collapse from exhaustion and the humans would simply walk up to it. That's horrifying, another council member breathed. That's Thursday on the savannah, Emma muttered, then caught herself. Sorry, that probably doesn't help. Your baseline normal requires our species' elite special forces to replicate, Zara said, reading from the files. Human civilian can run further, process patterns faster, operate longer without rest than our best soldiers. And you domesticated wolves and learned to throw projectiles with enough accuracy to take down prey at distance. And you gave us spaceflight, Khor'vax said softly. Apex predator species with pattern recognition, endurance hunting instincts, pack bonding psychology, and the ability to choose cooperation over competition. Nothing like you has ever existed in galactic history. Emma looked around at the assembled council members, at Zara's horrified expression, at Corvox's calm acceptance. You're all acting like we're going to conquer the galaxy or something, she said. We just want to explore, make friends, learn stuff. We're not planning to hunt anybody. I know, Corvox replied. That's what makes you truly terrifying. You don't need to plan it. You'll do it by accident. Just by being yourselves. The silence in the cell stretched like a physical thing. Emma could hear the environmental systems humming, feel the weight of a dozen alien gazes fixed on her through screens and sensors. So let me summarize, Vexithul said finally, his voice carefully controlled. You orchestrated 300 years of warfare, destroyed 17 civilizations, killed trillions of beings, to test whether prey species could learn to fight like humans? Yes, Khor'vax showed no remorse. I needed to know if we could adapt, if threat of human dominance could force evolutionary psychological changes, if fear could teach prey to think like predators. And, Zara's hand hovered near her weapon, we can't. Khor'vax gestured with two arms while the others remained still. It's neurologically impossible. I tested every approach, overwhelming aggression, guerrilla tactics, patience, deception, persistence. 17 species, 17 different strategies. Each one broke according to their prey psychology programming. Hierarchy-dependent species collapsed without leaders. Consensus species fractured when isolated. Fear-driven species surrendered to superior force. You murdered trillions for an experiment, Emma said quietly. I murdered trillions to save quadrillions, Khor'vax corrected. Because humans are coming, Emma Johnson. Not with warships and conquest, that would be manageable. You're coming with friendship and cooperation and that irresistible pack bonding that turns enemies into allies and makes wolves into dogs. We're not trying to take over anything. Emma stood up, frustrated. We just want to explore, learn about other species, share technology. The universe is huge. There's room for everyone. And there it is again, Khor'vax's mandibles spread. Abundance mentality. Prey species think scarcity, limited resources, limited safety, limited territory. Predators think abundance, more territory to explore, more prey to hunt, more pack members to include. You see galaxy and think room for everyone because your ancestors saw savanna and thought enough mammoths for whole tribe. Council member Sinara spoke up. Commander Zara, you sent human civilian into maximum security cell with galaxy's most dangerous war criminal, unarmed, alone, except for your presence. Yes, Zara said slowly, realization dawning. And she walked in without hesitation, Sinara continued, sat down, made coffee, started conversation, because humans don't have prey fear. She assessed threat and decided she could handle it. I mean, there's a barrier, Emma pointed out, and Zara has a really big gun. Prey species wouldn't enter, Khor'vax said, not even with barrier and armed guards. Instinct would override logic, but human pattern recognition said, he wants to talk. Barrier is secure, guard present, acceptable risk. So you walked into Predator's den because you calculated you could manage the danger. Emma felt her face flush. Are you saying every human would? Every human processes danger differently than galactic species, Khor'vax interrupted. You assess, adapt, approach. We avoid, flee, or freeze. Your ancestors chased mammoths off cliffs. Ours ran from saber-toothed cats. Those instincts don't disappear with spaceflight. The human-Kolian conflict 83 years ago, Zara said, pulling up files. Human casualties, 74. Kolian casualties, 32,000. The humans were farmers, no military training. They used farming equipment and improvised tactics. And made jokes while doing it, Corvox added. That's what I couldn't reconcile initially. You laugh when threatened. Humor under pressure is predator psychology. Pack reinforcement during hunt. Prey species panic. Okay, so we're different, Emma said, spreading her hands. But we chose peace. We formed the Terran Federation, applied for galactic membership, shared our technology. We're not conquering anybody. You chose peace. Khor'vax leaned forward until his face nearly touched the barrier. Prey species require peace because conflict triggers flight instinct. We can't help our nature. We built civilization to escape being eaten. But humans, you can flip the switch. Peace when convenient. Hunt when necessary. That's the difference that terrifies me. We wouldn't. Your people drove Ice Age megafauna to extinction, Corvox said flatly. Every large predator on your planet either went extinct or learned to fear you. Mammoth, saber-tooth, cave bear, dire wolf, gone. The ones that survived did so by avoiding humans completely. You didn't mean to. You were just surviving, but you were so efficient at it that you became planet's apex predator by accident. Vexthul's voice cut through. Council assessment complete. Humans possess superior pattern recognition, endurance capability exceeding our special forces, pack bonding that creates unbreakable unit cohesion, and persistence that prey species cannot counter. Conclusion: we cannot fight them. We cannot outthink them. We cannot outlast them. So what do we do? Another council member asked. Hope they stay friendly, Khor'vax said simply. Which they will, because that's their nature, unless you threaten them. Then you'll discover why humans are galaxy's first apex predator species to achieve spaceflight. He looked at Emma. Thank you for proving every point I needed to make. I didn't prove anything, Emma protested. I just talked to you like a person. Exactly. Khor'vax's eyes held something that might have been respect. You befriended mass murderer without thinking twice. Because humans don't see monsters, you see potential pack members until proven otherwise. And that instinct will have you ruling galaxy within 3 generations. Not through conquest, through making friends. He stood, all 4 arms spreading in formal gesture. My execution proceeds as scheduled. I'm satisfied. The galaxy has been warned. Cooperate with humans. Never threaten them. Welcome them as allies. His mandibles clicked one final time. Because you'll rule by accident, just by being yourselves. Emma stood in Zara's office 3 hours later, still processing everything that had happened. Through the window, she could see the prison section where Khor'vax waited for his execution, now less than 40 hours away. The council has reviewed the testimony, Vexthul said through the holographic display. We're implementing new protocols immediately. Directive Omega-7, Human Integration Strategy. Full cooperation, no territorial disputes, open technology sharing. That sounds good, Emma offered uncertainly. We're also offering you a position, Zara added. Human Perspective Advisor to the Galactic Council. Full diplomatic status, significant increase in compensation. I'm going to stop you right there. Emma held up a hand. I appreciate it really, but I've got a coolant leak on Deck 7 that's been driving me crazy for 2 days. And the atmospheric recycler in Section 12 is making this weird clicking sound that nobody else can hear, but I know it's there, and it's going to fail if I don't fix it soon. Zara and Vexthul exchanged glances. You're declining a council position to fix a coolant leak, Vexthul said slowly. Yeah, I'm a maintenance tech. That's what I do. You guys probably want someone with actual diplomatic training for the council thing, not someone who's going to show up in coveralls with grease under her fingernails. Emma shrugged. Besides, I like fixing things. It's satisfying when everything works right. She's doing it again, Zara murmured. Doing what? choosing what makes you happy over status and power. Prey species climb hierarchies because height means safety. Zara gestured helplessly. You just want to fix coolant leaks. Well, yeah, someone has to. Emma grabbed her plasma wrench from Zara's desk. If there's nothing else. As Emma left the office, she passed two security guards, a Vaxil and a Treen, standing at attention. They looked nervous. Hey, you guys all right? Emma asked. You look stressed. We're fine, human Emma Johnson, the Vaxil said stiffly. Just, Emma is fine. Seriously, you both look tense. Is it the Corvox thing? I know that's been weird for everyone. She smiled. For what it's worth, I think you're doing great. This station runs so smoothly because of good security. The Treen's posture relaxed slightly. Thank you. That's kind of you to say. Hey, I mean it. Last week when that cargo bay door got stuck, you guys had it locked down and secure in like 30 seconds. Very impressive. Emma shifted her wrench. Anyway, I've got to get to Deck 7, but if you ever need anything, just let me know, okay? She walked away, leaving both guards looking confused but pleased. Zara watched from her office doorway, datapad in hand. She was composing her report to the High Council, and the words came easier now. Corvax was right about everything. Human Johnson demonstrated pack bonding behavior with war criminal, security personnel, and command staff within single afternoon. Pattern recognition, persistence, and cooperation instincts observed at baseline level. No military training required to display tactical advantages. Recommendation: full cooperation with human species. Immediate implementation of friendship protocols. We have no other choice that doesn't end in our extinction, or worse, their disappointment. The greatest threat humans pose is not conquest. It's that we'll fail to meet their expectations of us as potential allies, and they'll befriend someone else instead. 3 decks down, Emma found Junior Technician R. Hill struggling with the coolant system, his 3-fingered hands fumbling with tools clearly not designed for his species. Here, try it like this, Emma said, sliding into the access panel beside him. See how this coupling connects? You've got to come at it from the side, not straight on. I've been trying for an hour, Arhill said miserably. I'm going to fail my certification. No, you're not. You just need to see the pattern. Look, Emma demonstrated the motion. It's like, imagine you're trying to pet a cat that doesn't want to be petted. You've got to approach indirect, right? Same principle. Rahil blinked his large eyes. I don't know what a cat is. Predator about this big, humans keep them as pets. They're adorable and murderous in equal measure. Emma grinned. Point is, sometimes you've got to come at a problem sideways. Try it now. Rahil mimicked her motion. The coupling clicked into place. I did it, his vocal sacs inflated with excitement. Human Emma, thank you. Just Emma, and no problem. You've got good instincts. You just needed to see it done once. She pulled herself out of the access panel. Now what do you hear? Hear? Listen. The system. What's it telling you? Rahil tilted his head, listening. It's clicking? In section 12? There you go. You've got it. Come on, let's go fix that before it becomes a real problem. Emma headed down the corridor, R. Hill following eagerly, already asking questions about diagnostic procedures. In maximum security cell Alpha 1, Corvax sat in meditation pose, his execution now 39 hours away. Through the security feed, he'd watched Emma's interaction with the guards, with the junior technician, his mandibles spread in what his species called a death smile, the expression warriors made when they'd completed their final duty. He'd spent 300 years committing atrocities to deliver one message: the friendly predators are coming, not with warships, with curiosity and coffee and the irresistible urge to help fix your problems. And the galaxy would welcome them, had to welcome them, because fear made prey species predictable, but humans had learned to weaponize friendship. Somewhere in the maintenance bay, Emma whistled while teaching an alien technician how to read coolant system harmonics. She had no idea she was conquering the galaxy one helpful conversation at a time. Corvox closed his eyes, satisfied. He'd done his duty. The warning had been delivered. The galaxy would survive by befriending humanity before humanity befriended them first. And really, what more could an old warrior ask for?